Hello everyone. I wanted to come on and share a few thoughts here. I homeschool my kids, as a lot of you know, and I used to do videos all nicely set up and, had a mic and everything, and now I just hold my phone because I have not a lot of spare time these days. Say hi to Dora. Hi, Dora. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about what's going on and hopefully share some helpful thoughts for those of you who are feeling really concerned, scared. There's, on whatever end of the spectrum you're on, but a lot of people worry about what kind of dystopian nightmare we're descending into. And I just want to remind you, I think a lot of us know this already, but this has been predicted. This time has been predicted for thousands of years. And that we would go through this age of awakening. And so with anything, with polarity, when there is light, there is dark. And so what we're seeing is so much darkness, so much shadow, so much real evil showing itself, all these restrictions, mandates that are really scary to think about. However, remember that the only reason it's so in our face is because there's so much light and there are so many people awakening. It is happening. I see it. I talk to people, my own family members. I see clients I've watched them go through their awakening. It is a real thing, and it's really exciting to watch this happen. And at the same time, the shadows they have the mainstream media as an outlet, so it kind of blasts everywhere, and that's what a lot of us think is the only thing happening, when in fact, it's not. There's so much happening beneath the surface of people creating homeschool co-ops like I am with friends here, and just communities of organic farms and resource sharing and all kinds of amazing alternative healthcare systems that are going to be created. All kinds of these things are happening in little subcultures, little pockets everywhere, but you won't hear about it in the news. So one thing I would say is stop getting information from the news. I sometimes check to see what's going on, but it's not an accurate depiction of really what's happening in the world. So remember also that as this was predicted, that there's been thousands of, I think it's about 20,000 something year cycles that I think it was the Incans and the Mayans predicted. This is Barbara Hancock writes about this, or they didn't predict, they depicted it in their calendars, and they got this information from beings of light, from galactic beings. We see all kinds of evidence of this in the pyramids, in a lot of different ancient drawings and texts. And again, this has all been hidden from us, so we didn't know that was happening. But this happened thousands of years ago with Lemuria, and then Atlantis. The fall of Atlantis was when humans descended into ego, and we fell. And that's when we entered this 20-something thousand years of darkness. But we are actually leaving that time. We are not in that time anymore. We're in the age of Aquarius. So did we think that it was just going to be this amazing, everything was going to go great and those who've been controlling our planet would just go down and say, goodbye, never mind? No, of course not. So that's what we're seeing now is they're scared, they're running, or they're not running, but they're fighting. But I think it's important to remember that it cannot be stopped. The awakening cannot be stopped. Yes, speaking up for our rights, of course, standing in our sovereignty is really important. But I believe, for what the things that are coming down and things they're trying to do. But I believe it's really important to make sure that we're coming from love. I went to a rally the other day with my kids against some mandates, if you know what I'm talking about, for healthcare workers here in Maine. And would cause a lot of people to lose their jobs, which this industry cannot afford in Maine. And one of my friends after, she said, why don't we do a meditation of love here? I was like, it's right. That's absolutely right. A mass meditation of as many souls as possible in one place can genuinely, literally, positively, absolutely shift the vibration. It is felt by the collective. And that is what I'm doing my best to do, is just bring in love. Love, forgive them for they know not what they do. Love them no matter how much they rage, no matter how much they try to ostracize, bully, shame us. And we still love them because they are in fear. And again, other humans, they're victims too. They've been completely indoctrinated by fear, being very manipulated. It's very sad. They're suffering. those who are, putting these mandates down, governments, things like that, they're also puppets. So it goes we won't go down that rabbit hole, but I think it's really important to remember, and I encourage you to focus on, instead of going into fear or anger, it's impossible not to, but really try to transmute those. And what do you want to create for your life? What do you want? What kind of life do you want for your children, your family, yourself? And build that. Reach out to people, make a plan, and talk to other people. There are so many like-minded people doing so many amazing things on this planet. I feel very blessed to have this wonderful community here of like-minded new friends, and we're growing, and there's just amazing things happening. There's a website. In the first day of this homeschool website that a few of us put up, there were like 300 people that signed up the first few days. Sports leagues, like all kinds of stuff. Skill sharing, we're connecting people with people who are beekeepers, who are carpenters, who are woodworkers, who are farmers, to teach children these skills, knitting, sewing, all these skills that have been lost in generations. So the world that we are building is going to be so much better. It is already better. It's a fifth dimensional way. So in the meantime, I suggest don't give your energy to the 3D. It is crumbling, it is raging, it is burning. Don't give your energy there. Sometimes I speak up and say this, I don't believe this is right, but be careful of how much you get sucked in, because that is, again, they feed off our emotions. They don't care where it comes from, fear or anger, it doesn't matter where. That's how they keep us in that matrix. So the only way, in my view, is to disengage, and that's what I've gotten very clear guidance in the Akashic Records, is to disengage, to turn our attention away from what, the dystopian chaos and nightmare, really, that it is we're seeing in the 3D world, in workplaces, in healthcare systems, and in the economy, and everywhere, schools, of course. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I took my kids out of school immediately when I saw what they were doing to children, and it's really heartbreaking. So anyway, there was one more thing I was going to say. Oh, I know. There's grief because it's our old life. We used to be able to go to certain shows, concerts. I know that I'm not going to be going to places where I used to see concerts in the biggest city in Maine, in Portland, which is, I like to call Pan Am, the Hunger Games capital, because there's so much fear and the fear is causing people to choose to do things that are rooted in fascism. And they don't even realize it. I don't know if they realize it, but and these are good people. They believe it's the right thing. They believe that's what keeps them safe. And this is exactly what happened in Germany. This is what has happened throughout history. However, it's different now because so many humans are awakened. So let's not go into that fear, but it is okay to grieve. These are things that we used to do, and it's our old life that sometimes we want to cling to that, and we want to get back to that, and we miss that. But there will be ways, and I've picked up on this in the Akashic Records too. There will be ways that we can still move around. So we have to get creative, but it's already so much better than it used to be. My children, they're so happy, they're thriving, they see what's going on, they know what's going on, and it doesn't affect them. It's just not their reality, and that's kind of what I've been saying in my mind. That's not my reality. This is my reality. This is my reality, and I connect with people who also live in this reality. So visualize what you want, the kind of world you want, and give your energy there. Many blessings. Connect with light too. Don't forget that. Meditate. Connect with divine guidance, angels, God, spirit guides, whatever it is, ascended masters, to help you get through, because they're here for us. Bye.